If you're unfamiliar with 10x3, Sandy is going to talk about it right after me, but if you are interested in knowing what it is, click up here, or up there, here, and watch the first few episodes. Just a heads up, this is a predominantly talking head video, but if you are interested in this 10x3 project, this is a great video to bring you up to speed. So don't forget to do all those YouTube stuff, like, share, subscribe. But more importantly, if you have any questions after watching this video about 10x3, leave them in the comments down below. And Sandy, Anna, Tim, and myself maybe, or I might just stick behind the camera, we'll do a follow-up video to answer any and all questions that you might have.
Hi, welcome back to 10x3. It's been a few months since our last episode, and today we're going to be filling you in on what's been happening with our 10x3 project. I'm here with Tim, my partner. As an explanation to anyone who isn't aware about the 10x3 project, Tim and I bought a tiny infill site down the end of a laneway that measures only 10 metres by 3 metres, 30 square metres. And to give that some context, a single garage is about 6 metres by 3 metres, so it's a fairly small site. Our last episode, I went and visited Jack's Type Street studio for inspiration on how to design for a small space. And in January and February, Tim and I went to Japan, and we had a great opportunity to look at some micro houses in Tokyo City, where this sort of infill development micro house concept is not new. Not long after returning from our holiday, Australia was hit with COVID-19. And for the last few months, life's gone on hold as we've known it before. We're still in stage 4 restrictions here in Melbourne, and we decided to bring you an update from our home. Anthony's not here, so it's just our amateur attempt at filming and a list of questions from Anthony. So we'll run through those.
First one up, what possessed you to buy such a small and challenging site?
I was immediately drawn to the site. Because it is so small and so challenging. I guess as an architect, it's a bit of a dream to have such a small, challenging site and to sort of really have to use your imagination and creativity to design something that's still really wonderful to be in, even though it's such a small site. It's also the opportunity, I guess, to build sustainably within the city using these sort of leftover, remnant, unused spaces. And you?
Okay. And me? It was affordable.
Yeah.
Simple as that. It was so small that we could actually afford it.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, I think we're really lucky. I don't think there's a lot of this kind of thing out there on the market, but hopefully there becomes more of it.
Yeah.
As you know, I would hope. I'm sure there's other examples, but hopefully 10x3 becomes an example of being able to use the leftover
sites. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you know, for a couple starting out, this kind of infill development with such a small site makes it affordable for a couple to be able to buy and build. What are we going to put on the site?
A house, a very small house, a 1-bedroom house. We did go through that whole sort of, standard list of developer sort of questions you ask yourself. Can we, how much can we fit on the site? Can we fit 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms? A commercial space with a bed sit on top, what can we ram in there? And sort of after that sort of initial kind of looking at it, we quite quickly really decided that actually less is more, and we just decided on a 1-bedroom open plan type home that it's for 1 or 2 people, I guess, no more. And we felt happy with that. It's the right thing.
Yeah, we're really dictated by the restraints of the site as well. Once we actually formed an envelope around where we could potentially build, because we have other neighbours to consider with windows and balconies, it created this sort of unusual shape, which is what we've ended up with, and it gave us, it dictated to us what we could fit in there, and so we did end up with a 1-bedroom house. Do you have any ideas on materials?
Yes, again, due to site restrictions, we were very much sort of pushed in a certain direction, with both sort of properties on either side. The boundaries are literally right up on the boundary, and we've got very high apartment walls on one side, a very old big brick wall on the other side. So basically once our walls went up, we were never going to be able to get to the external face of the walls. So we have to build something that basically once it goes up, it's done. It's waterproof. It's needs zero maintenance on the external face. So we decided on a sort of modular PVC permanent formwork system that you sort of carry in sort of one-man handleable,
very lightweight,
small, lightweight, sections, and then they get put in place, and then that gets core filled with concrete, which also gives you the fire rating, which will be required in that location. And beauty of it is you'll never have to go do anything to the external face. So that's sort of the main structure. And then glass, really, lots of glass, because it is small. It's a bit of a dark corner. It's not going to be like a incredibly light-filled house, so the more glass, the better. And timber, lots of timber. I'm a carpenter, so timber makes sense. If we can find some recycled bits of timber, that would be a real plus. That's certainly the process we're starting now, is sort of looking for some, nice bits and pieces of recycled wood to work with.
We'd like to use recycled materials as much as possible through the whole build. And we'd like to build really as environmentally responsive as we can, given we don't have a whole lot of solar gain, but also as sustainable as we can. So recycled materials will definitely be something on our list to be looking out for. Is there a particular element you're most excited about from the current design?
Yeah, for me, I just love that Sandi and Anna, who at Cusman Architecture, have both come up with this sort of mezzanine layout. I love it because usually sort of open plan houses, which it needed to be because it's such a small space, there's sort of nowhere to hide, nowhere to get your own space. And beauty of the mezzanines is there's just lots of little sort of nooks and crannies that, you might want to sit up there and hang your feet over that mezzanine and read a book, or, while someone else can find another little space to, get their own personal space in. And then I love that even flows into the laneway, which is actually at a completely different level to any of the other mezzanines, any of the other floor levels in the house. So it's, it interacts with outside, and I love the mezzanine-ness of it. That's a thing.
It is now. For me, my favourite element is actually the entry void space. It's such a tiny, skinny site, but we've actually managed to get quite a lot of volume, a lot of height in that area to help bring in light. But it's also just sort of creates a really lovely transitional space between inside and outside, and it's sort of it means that we're sort of really engaging with the laneway, which we're sort of going to make part of the living space. So it sort of joins the internal living and the external living together. And I checked in with Anna, so she can't be here today. So Anna loves the bedroom, which is on the very top floor to the back of the block. So it feels very secluded and tucked away and kind of almost treehouse-like up there. And it will have a beautiful view to a neighbouring gum tree, which we're sort of using as much as possible to bring the outdoors inside. So in that space, the hope is that you feel like you're not necessarily even in the city, that you're just in your own little sort of secluded sanctuary up the top. So we've got our brief for our project, and we've got our preliminary design, and the design is preliminary. There's a lot of things to go through. We still have planning and building permits. Costing, that's a big one. And engineering, that might start to have an effect on the design. So at the moment it's preliminary, and we like what we've done, but we've got to be flexible and open to change. And I guess that's the kind of thing that we'll be talking about moving forward in the next series, is the design and all the other influences that are going to happen over the next few months before we actually get to build.